Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Kim and it is Friday. We made it through. Clap it up. Clap it up. Thank goodness it's Friday. I hope you have a good weekend planned. I hope you have something enjoyable planned for those of you who aren't working, who have to do nothing this weekend. I hope you could get your errands done that you need to get done. And for those of you who got paid, I hope you could do something interesting with your money outside paying bills. Because we have bills, child. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is a new segment, new content idea I'm trying out, and it's called the Social and Political Justice Corner. And I explore social issues psychically and political issues, um, exploring like different policies that are up to be passed and um, what that would look like, and exploring that, and even doing some channeling um, in between all of that. Okay, pulling cards, channeling, talking about social justice issues, talking about political issues. I um, wanted to explore that because I'm one trying to do things differently, and I have been really happy lately with my videos the content that I've been putting out. I never have watched my videos, only a few times, and lately I've been watching them, and I really like one, showing my face, and I also really like the fact that I am very relaxed. I'm myself. Not that I wasn't myself in the other videos, but you know, I I like to joke around. I like to laugh. I like to add levity and sometimes be irreverent to situations. It doesn't mean I don't take it seriously, but I I jokes and laughter is healthy to me. Um, so I like to do that, and I noticed I've been that way more and more in my videos. So I am doing content this way now because, especially now, I have been trying to increase my motivation with YouTube. It was very low, especially after my health issues. And that was not something, YouTube was not something I was prioritizing. So I'm trying to get back into it and trying to do things differently because, one, I feel less pressure to give answers. Um, I want to share what I know and what I perceive, what I intuit, what messages I get. And I think before it was this drive I had to seek answers and give answers. And I just, now my perception is I don't have to do that. We are we are at the um, we are at the precipice, however you say it. Um, we are at the edge. We are we are at the edge. And one of the main reasons I don't feel like I have to really give answers in that way, the urgency I felt, the anxiety behind it, is because the shift is 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 happening. And so now I think we could be in a space where we could just chill. I mean, you know what I mean, and watch everything fall and crumble. That's where we are. however long it takes, if you think about the many years this has been happening, just the Epstein files alone, just that small, it's a large thing, but this in a microcosm of the system, excuse me, it is a small thing. So, um, universal cycles, I just heard that. Never said that before, but you know, it, people are alert and oriented in the way they never have before. And it's just, we're here. And so I feel an urgency, though the only urgency I feel is to talk with you guys and to just um, offer words where I can and uh, hopefully make you laugh. You know what I mean? And explore things and see, what is the possibility, what are the potential, what is the yes, what is the no, what is the maybe. Okay. But I think we are shifting. We have shifted, and the things that I have seen, I know things have shifted because I could look at things and not be like, I can't look at this. I could look at it because are people are, for the most part, so alert and so done with the nonsense. And you, when you think of social justice and what it entails, people protesting, people speaking out, people saying no, people recognizing um, why anti-racism is important, people recognizing why the issue is not only racism but class, you know, education, access to the lack of all those things. People are they intellectually knew, but now I think it's so blatantly obvious. And the irony of the Republicans who do this, who have done this for many years. And listen, you could argue that the Democrats are. You have, yes, you could argue. However, when there's a Democrat in office, we don't go through these things like that. I'm not talking about institutional racism. I'm talking about anyway. But like I was saying, getting back on track. Um, they're destroying themselves. And what you see in the world, I'll get to that. But I want to just jump in. Let's just jump in, okay? I'll get to that. I'm going to talk about the Epstein files. Um, we'll get to that. Goodness. But anyway, one the first thing I want to explore is the rights, the trans bill of rights. Okay, and so this is a policy being introduced into Congress, and I think it is amazing. I'm so excited for it because trans rights are human rights, and we have to make that into a law, which is okay, sure, yes, but it has to happen. And I think it's so, the trans community is under the gun and they are the most vulnerable community. It's a very small community in the United States alone, 1%. of people who identify as trans, and that's just the people who identify. I'm sure there are a lot of people who probably identify but is either too afraid to transition or the process is very difficult. I believe that trans community is the most vulnerable community when it comes to the LGBTQ plus community. And I have always felt the transgendered population, transgender people are spiritually sacred. I know they are. They've been around for uh, hundreds of thousands of years, let's say. And they are spiritually sacred. They are. They are special. And I argue with the wall if you disagree with me. I don't know what to tell you. But they are spiritual. It is sacred to know who you are and to move into that body, to transition into that body. I'm a therapist and I work with people who don't know who they are. That is the ongoing theme that I see. If you take, everyone comes from different walks of life and have had different experiences, but if you took the overall arching theme of it as really figuring out your identity, and that is hard when you've had terrible experiences through life. And so you imagine to be born and feel as though and know that you were born in the wrong body, because gender is a social construct. It, I could go on this for days, but and then to be courageous enough to just transition into the body you and the gender you identify as. Mm-mm-mm. So, um, I think that is very sacred. I think that is spiritual. I think that is um, incredibly um, ethereal. That's dope, you know? So, anyway, what is a trans Bill of Rights? I will read to you what it is. It is human rights. That's all. Um, protection from employment and housing discrimination, equal access to necessary medical treatments, okay, without discrimination. That's very important, okay. Legal recognition of gender identity, very important. The right to the right to use restrooms, that align with, I'm sorry, words are hard for me. You guys know that. The right to use restrooms that align with a person's gender identity. Okay. So that's the Transgender Bill of Rights, to make it federal, to make it protected. Um, I hope it passes, and I want to explore if it will. Like, it would be so Wonderful. These people, these sacred people just literally want to exist like everyone else. Like everyone else in the world that just want to exist, that just want to live their lives. It literally holds no consequence for you. But I don't understand. It's not fear, it's hatred. They need to change the phobias. It's not transphobia. You're not afraid of trans people, because if you were, you would. Listen, when I'm afraid of something, I stay away from it. I don't abuse it. I don't go near it. I don't yell at it. I don't denigrate it. I stay away. So they need to change it to like trans hatred. Islam hatred. It's just hatred. Phobia softens the blow too much for me. So let's see if this bill will pass. Let's see. A lot of chatter. I'm just asking my guides. It will pass. It'll be difficult. It will pass though. It will pass. Once I'm hearing it'll pass because the Democrats will hold the position, the power to pass it. It will pass. It'll take a fight. Let me see when it's being introduced. Let me see when it will pass. It will pass. Okay, there isn't a vote scheduled yet as of today. Okay. It will pass. Let's look at the visual. Move up. Will the Trans Bill of Rights pass? Be passed. Will the Trans Bill of Rights be passed? Will the Trans Bill of Rights be passed? Saying yes? Yeah. Saying yes. Okay. Let's see. Man, I honestly, I'm like fiercely protective of this community. I don't know if in my past life, if I was transgendered. I don't do I mean I've worked with trans. I've worked with trans people. Um, one of them was an underage child, and I can't work with kids and their parents who are, because I don't have tolerance for parents who don't understand. I don't. So but I just, will the Trans Bill of Rights pass? I'm so protective. Like, I'll fight you. I always, when I watch the videos of people confronting trans people in the bathroom, I'm like, why am I never there? Why am I never there? Because I don't leave the house, that's why. I barely leave the house. But I just be like, three of cups, celebration. Will the Trans Bill of Rights pass in Congress, in the Senate? Four of Wands. Man, that would be, please. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. So far, Three of Cups, Four of Wands. Both yeses. The Emperor, Eight of Cups, Six of Wands, King of Wands, Knight of Swords. Absolutely yes is the answer. Ten of Pentacles, King of Cups, Hierophant. Yes, yes, yes. Three of Cups. A lot of people will, this to me, when looking at these other cards, these two cards here together, the Four of Wands and the Three of Cups, it speaks to, the Three of Cups is about gathering of people, you, in a work sense, things being in the flow and people cooperating with each other, and a balance being brought, a sense of victory being brought with the Four of Wands there. People speaking about it, and people, what's the word? Promoting the bill on social media through, this is what this is. It's more important than what people, the Emperor, power. There's power behind this bill. You think of like, who can you imagine? It's not going to be introduced to vote. I think they are introducing the idea and promoting this bill, perhaps for after the midterms. Because what I heard when I asked my spirit guides, that it will be the right person to make this push through. Once the Democrats take the lead, and they said the right person, and this is the person. Eight of Cups. This healing energy, this flowing energy of transition. When you try to introduce something as the Trans Bill of Rights, and you see how abhorrent people can be regarding their opinions about the trans community, you're like, oh, would that happen? But the Eight of Cups is about moving into something, moving forward, moving into something new, into healing, despite not knowing what's on the other side, but having hope in that you're landing in the right space. Card of healing. Moving on from hatred. Six of Wands, victory. Attention. This thing getting traction. Progression. Good news. King of Wands, the courageousness of getting this past. A new beginning. Knight of Swords. Strategic movement. Getting, the people introducing this belt is being very strategic with it. And I also appreciate that they're showing we are working too. We're working. And we're going to make it happen because this legacy here, the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the King of Wands, and the King of Cups. That's why it will pass. There's a flow happening, guys. That there's a shift happening where things are chaotic in a way that is supposed to happen. And so with the chaos comes the calm, the shift, the flow, And then the Hierophant, the government. With the Knight of Swords on top of it. There isn't a no here. There isn't a no here. I just imagine what is the margin in the house? 218 to 215? And there's a seat. There's 3 seats up. There's 3 seats. Some man in Florida, from Florida rather, a congressman is resigning. He's resigned. And so there's a special election coming up in Florida that will make the margin even smaller. The Republicans are in peril. Yeah. So the Trans Bill of Rights Act will pass once the Democrats take order. And can you imagine when it happens and the Democrats takes order and Trump is still alive and still around? What that would be like for him. They're going to try really hard to cheat. Let me tell you something. They knew Kamala was coming. They knew she was going to win. And when she said she was running, they said, we need to cheat. Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, they said, we got to cheat. And this is how we'll do it. Allegedly. Everything I say here is for entertainment purposes. Everything I say here is for informational and alleged. Even in the comments. But that's what they allegedly did. Allegedly. Because I remember months and months and months ago, someone told me, the blood of King George is in all the presidents. I don't care about that. They also said we would be enslaved forever. Because God gave them that right to enslave Africans. That's what God told them to do. That's what they said. It is their God-given right to forever own slaves. That woman was going to be our president, and they were going to be, because she was going to do everything, release the files, all of that. They knew it. They knew it. She's campaigning. Do y'all see her? That's what she's doing. That's why she is doing it quietly and also doing the work for the midterm. This is her litmus test. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Um, Other thing I want to talk about. What time is it? I'm just trying to see how long I've been talking. Bear with me. I've been talking for 30 minutes. Okay, not bad. Other thing I want to talk about is what's the other thing? That white nationalists, they are trying to trying to be the Secretary of State or work in the Secretary of State office. I'm not sure. But he's a white nationalist, and while the Democrats did a good job of questioning his nonsense and calling his anti-Semitic, misogynistic, racist, cold air. My room is cold because I don't have my heater on, making me cough, or maybe it's a spirit cough. It's a spirit cough, probably. Um, but what was I saying? Yeah, I want to see. They'll probably confirm him. I don't know. Let's see. What is his name? What is his name? Person you're like referring to? Jeremy Carl. Yeah, that sounds about right. He's nominated for Assistant Secretary of State for International Organization Affairs. Going through the Senate confirmation process. No final vote scheduled yet. Let's see. Well, Jeremy Carl. I hear no, I hear maybe. Saying no, because there are Republicans who do not like him. Let's see what the cards say. So my guide said no. I heard a maybe. I heard a maybe though. Will Jeremy Carl be confirmed? Will he be confirmed by the Senate? Will he be confirmed? Saying no. Saying no. A big no. Okay. Show me Jeremy Carl's outcome. He looks just like a thumb or a toe, a big toe, you know? He looks just like a big toe. Ace of Swords in reverse. That social media look was not good for him. He did not look good on social media. Don't know the difference between ethnicity and race. What a dumbass. It's just you're dumb. You're dumb. You are a dummy. Ace of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. And let's see here. Well, show me his outcome. Four Swords. Page of Cups. I have to shuffle again. I don't even think this is his card. Let's see. Those were literal cards from yesterday. If they come up again, those are his cards. Show me his outcome. Okay. Oh, all right. The Moon. People are uncertain about him. Strength. Queen of Swords. The Magician. Two of Wands. Six of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. Judgment. Justice. A Hierophant. Lots of majors. Lots of major cards. He doesn't look good, right? Ace of Swords in reverse popped out. Then you have the Strength card. You have the Moon, which is they're very uncertain about his fate. That's why I felt like a maybe to me. But Edgar's saying will be a surprise because a few Democrats will vote no. I mean, Republicans will not want to confirm him. Queen of Pentacles, Judgment, Justice, and the Hierophant. And honestly, these three last major cards feels like his fate. Judgment is about what you put into the universe. Okay? It's a card of karma. Justice is vindication. It's integrity. Is bringing balance back. Okay? These cards fell out. Four of Cups. Four of Cups and a Ten of Cups. Give me his ultimate outcome. And you have the Hierophant there, the government. Now, what I know about Four of Swords again. They're not gonna, I don't think he'll be confirmed. It's a maybe, a weak maybe, but it feels like a no. Republicans, listen, there were white nationalists, there were Klan members, I'm sure, very racist men in Congress for years. Probably some of them still now. It's people in their 90s. The Civil Rights Act was passed in 61 years ago. So when you have somebody up in their 90s, their 80s and 90s, a congressman from the South, please. So that would be nothing new if he was confirmed. But I think now, they like to hide behind decency when it comes to racism. It can't be on full display like that. Like that man. Can't be full white power. You got to be secret white power, Um, so yeah, the justice, yes, it's, um, excuse me, justice, judgment, and the Hierophant to me speaks to me that they're not. He's not going. This is the. You have the Queen of Swords, you have the Magician, you have the Two of Wands, and the Senate, in terms of confirming him, is thinking about other things like, what would this look like? The ace the way that the Democrats ripped him apart by challenging his racism, by engaging in anti-racism, asking direct questions about, well, what is a white genocide, and what is, you think that white people are on the lowest part of the totem pole, and that that senator asked those beautiful questions. Well, what about in the government? What about representation in the government? What about representation naming institutions and the presidency alone? That's how you be anti-racist. You directly challenge white supremacy, because that's what he is saying, that white people are supreme. That's how you do that. That's how you challenge. That's what I like to see. Okay, so this is how it was actually. Let me fix it. Okay. Justice is in between these two: Hierophant, justice, and judgment. And this is his no. He does not have integrity. I mean, they confirmed a lot of people that didn't have integrity, though. But something has shifted and changed. The Ace of Swords fell out in reverse. These cards are all upright, but this came out in reverse. And Ace of Swords is a card of communication, intellect, and social media. It's in reverse. So everybody saw that this man is a white nationalist. He is a white supremacist, and he was um, held to task, and he failed. And the Republicans who will not confirm him, this is why. Okay, we'll see. That's something I want to touch on a little bit. It's something I want to touch on a little bit. I'll be brief. I won't be brief actually, because I want to channel two people that I want to share their message. Um, what time is it? Okay. Does that say 41? 44. Okay. I want to talk about, what I've always talked about: racism. And there seems to be a very large discussion right now everywhere about racism and what it entails, um, what has been revealed about certain people from the far left and whatever. But I'm talking about racism on all sides, right? Because there's a real problem. That's the problem. Let's just look at America alone. But racism is a problem for white people, because looking at this man sitting in front of these senators, these well-to-do, educated um, senators, and talking about white genocide and white pride and how the white culture is, being decimated, or, simply because they don't want to share a space with a black or brown person, an Asian person, what have you, a Jewish person, what have you, whatever. Um, it's very absurd. It's absurd. And I think that's partly why a lot of people, white people, deny being racist. They get upset. They get, they get offended when they're called racist. Um, and it's because racism is the lowest form of intelligence. Yeah, it is. It's insidious and pervasive, and the lowest form of intelligence, and that's why they get upset, because most white people who are called racist, um, they have an idea of what a racist person looks like. They are of low intelligence, their necks are red, and they are white trash, or they're on drugs, or, poor. They don't want to be associated with that. And they don't understand that racism is not always violent, although although it's not always acts of violence. That's what I meant. Although it is violent, even the most subtlest of racism. It's not always someone calling you the N-word. It's not always someone burning a cross on your lawn. It's not always that. It could be something like, well, if we, Jasmine Crockett is great. She is like so strong and intelligent and articulate. I literally saw this. Someone said this online, that she's articulate and, crazy stuff. No, I'm lying. We need someone literate. That's what they said. We need James Talarico because, he did. I'm just paraphrasing, but I've seen that a couple of places. I've seen that in my comments, that we need to cater to the white Republicans and MAGA, right? Oh, James Talarico is more palatable. It wasn't those direct words, but that you could, if you are intelligent, you could read the context clues to get what is being said, and that is the type of racism. That's racism, and why it's racism, and why that is because you are uplifting white supremacy by saying a white man is better than a black woman, because the racist Republicans will find him more agreeable and palatable than Jasmine Crockett, who has more experience. Yeah. Who has not taken money from corporations, or, well, we're not going to get into that. Let's keep that as basic human existence. That is racist. Yeah, that's racist. And so that's what I mean by being cool and casual with racism. That idea alone, that thought of saying, well, we should cater to the Republicans. We have to get them on our side. We have to get them to vote. You know, if they're turning on Trump, then we need to have someone that they will find palatable. And so to me, you're saying Black people don't matter. You are diminishing this woman and putting her worth down to the color of her skin, putting her value down to the color of her skin because you want to cater to racist Republicans who, I might add, have been voting the same way, the same tired ass Ted Cruz for years. These Republicans vote in the same tired ass people who do nothing for them for years. Instead of saying, let's be anti-racist, let's try to find voters who are young and who are just turning age. Let's try to engage them. Let's try to find voters who are registered but has not voted since 2016. Why aren't they civically engaged? Let's try to find more Black voters. Let's try to find more Black and brown people who are not civically engaged. Let's hear their voices and see how they feel, as opposed to worried about tired ass, racist ass Republican MAGA people. And so the question I want to I'm sorry for cursing, but it's very frustrating for me. It's very frustrating for me because I want we are all human. We're human beings. And and racism is just absurd. It is mental. It is crazy. It makes no sense, that hatred. And with my problem with white people being racist is the casualness of it that they don't recognize. And I say that not because I hate white people. I don't. I really don't. I say that because y'all don't see that y'all are the key. Y'all don't see, and I'm talking, and I mean the most well meaning. Y'all don't see that y'all can make the change. Stop looking to us to make the change. And that's what I feel like sometimes. Y'all are the key. And if it's anything that's destroying white culture, whatever that means, it's racism. The racists are messing y'all up. Racism harms you. Being racist harms you. That is the problem. And I just be like, sometimes I'll be talking to my guys and I just be like, please, please just recognize it. Like, I'm begging how it's harming you. It directly harms you. And when you are casual with it, if you are at dinner with your family and you have a racist uncle, then you should curse him out. Don't be quiet. You shouldn't associate with other racist white people like Gavin Newsom, because I wouldn't. I would not. I wouldn't. I don't tolerate that. I don't associate with people who just dislike, who's anti-Semitic. I don't associate with people who doesn't like Asian people. I don't associate with people who doesn't like Latinos or other brown people. I'm not casual with it. It's not cool. I don't associate with people who have a problem with the queer community. I will stop being your friend. I have done that. I will literally not ever talk to you again after telling you off. That's what it takes. Kim, you asked me to cut off my family. Curse them out. Let them know. That's what it takes. That's what it takes to stop hatred. To stop it and to say, no more. That thought of, well, he's more palatable because he's white. Racist. We need to stop. It is killing. It is killing, y'all. We already know, black people know what it's doing to us. But y'all don't seem to know what it's doing to y'all. Even if you think you're not racist, I believe that y'all believe that. Even if you think you don't, but you have to do an inventory and say, am I anti-racist? And how have I been anti-racist? Am I friends with racist people? Am I friends with racist people? Do I hold them to task? Have I sat in rooms with my friends and they've said racist stuff, and although I didn't laugh, I didn't say anything? Am I still friends with those people? That's the problem. That's even more dangerous, in my opinion, than burning a damn cross on someone's lawn. That's dangerous. That's uplifting white supremacy by staying quiet. But I'm not lecturing anyone. I'm not. This isn't a lecture. This isn't a lecture. But it has to be spoken out loud. Anyway, what I wanted to get to is I want to channel some people, and I want just one message that I want to share. And I've channeled these people in the past, and I just want to understand something. I want to know something, and I hope I can get the answer. Well, maybe not the answer, but some comfort that I could share. Okay? So the first person I'm going to channel, I'm doing this on camera. Done it on camera before, but I don't feel awkward right now. I'm going to channel Malcolm X. I've channeled him before. The first time I channeled him was I cried because he held such a space for me. And I'm going to channel him right now. Okay? Okay. Okay. He always greets me with, "Hello, my sister." And he keeps saying, "I'm here." Mm-mm-mm. His energy is so comforting. Okay. My question, he's telling me what my question is. He's saying, because my question is, will this stop? Will white people realize the depths of white supremacy? Will this end? He said, okay. He said the answer is simple. He said, yes, it will end, but it will take them losing. And he said, possibly losing everything. But he doesn't mean that literally. He said they will finally realize that the door is closed and they cannot go back. Their hands will be empty, and he's doing this. He's doing this. Their hands will be empty. Their pockets will be empty. They will have nothing. They will turn and look at each other and ask, how did we get here? They will they will have to lose like never before. He's saying to me, I'm here for you, sister. He's saying, I offer you this comfort by telling you they will not suffer, but they will learn, and it will stop. He said, by the grace of Allah, it will stop. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Wow. The next person I want to channel, Harriet Tubman. I've channeled her numerous times, and she she always keeps it real. She always keeps it real and always tells the truth. Not that no one hasn't told the truth, but I like her bluntness. And to her, I would ask the same question: will this stop? Harriet Tubman. She's saying, I will tell you this, child. She said, you want to know if this will end. She said, I will tell you this, child. It will end, but it will take a tremendous amount of work on their part. She's saying to get to the end of the railroad, to the end of the line, she keeps using train references. Malcolm X talked about, he kept showing me a door closing. I keep coughing. And she keeps referencing end of the line, track, running out of track, as she's saying. They have to, she's saying, yeah. She's saying, yes, yes. They have to run out of track in order to see how to rebuild it or how to continue to build the track. She's saying they have to learn to build the track. She said, and they will learn after they learn their error. She keeps referencing young people. She did that before. She did that. She did that before. She keeps showing me young people. She said it will be them. She said the next generation. She's saying, they both said, she's saying to me, this will happen in your lifetime. And Malcolm X said, this will happen in your lifetime. She's saying, have comfort in knowing that this is not forever, that this will end. She said, she said, have comfort in knowing that the tides are turning. She's saying the people must keep going. Everyone has their part. Everyone will know their part and do their part, is what she's saying. Okay. She said, and that's all I have to say. And that's all I have to say. Thank you. Okay. That's all I got. I had one more thing I wanted to talk about, but I think I could end here. I think I could end here. It's been an hour, right? Yep, just turned an hour. Let me know what you think. Um, let me know what you think down in the comments. I hope to have a rich conversation with you. As you can see, my passion when it comes to racism is I'm ready for it to be. I want to have real conversations about it, and I just want people to recognize what it is and how insidious it is and how most people engage in it and enable it, and they don't know. And so it needs to be brought to people's attention. But according to Malcolm X and according to Harriet Tubman, we will get out of this, but it will take sacrifice. It'll take work. It'll take recognizing, you know, where things are going wrong, where some white folks are going wrong. It'll take a tremendous effort, but it looks like running out of track. Okay, so I didn't get to the Epstein files. I'm gonna do another video, probably tomorrow, maybe, depending on how I feel. But I wanted to get this out of there, and I don't want it to be too long. Listen, an hour, that's good for me. So like this video if you like it. Hopefully y'all watch it. Y'all watch my videos. Y'all be watching it. But let's have a chat down in the comments. Okay? I will see you guys again soon. Bye.